Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll see you again with scores and updates at halftime. But for now, it's my distinct pleasure to hand things over to our broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Seattle Seahawks offense taking the field. There's Russell Wilson. Now, week 1 in that loss to Denver, 298 yards. Did have a couple of interceptions, but also 3 touchdowns. Unfortunately, a familiar story. Just didn't get a whole lot of protection from that O-line.
Go back to the season opener a year ago in Green Bay when it was a struggle in a similar vein. And I'm still trying to understand why that offensive line isn't better. A lot of high draft pick talent on it, first-rounders, second-rounders. They do have a new offensive line coach. Expect them to get better as the season goes on. But Russell Wilson, he knows how to manufacture offense, doesn't he?
He does indeed. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson throwing again. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 74 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script because so many teams script their opening possessions. And whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out to kick is Janikowski. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. We see Dak Prescott bringing this Dallas Cowboys offense onto the field that really struggled in Carolina. In fact, they didn't have a play in Carolina territory the entire first half, and Prescott finished with 170 yards. They were fairly empty yards, to be frank.
Yeah, so there's got to be some concern in Dallas because if you go back now, in his last 9 games, 7 times he hasn't hit 200 yards throwing the football. So part of it is they can't establish a run with Ezekiel Elliott. The other part is the receiving corps up to the challenge? But what's being missed, they're missing a couple of key starters on the offensive line. He got harassed the entire game against Carolina.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Here we go.
Third and long for Prescott. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. 20. 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Terrence Williams, 76 yards. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
A try here for the extra point. The extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Lockett the return. Oh, good move. Oh, a heck of a move. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Flush to his right. Spins away and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. He got 29 yards that time.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Flushed out right. This is caught. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Here's Wilson. And some room to roam now. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. And now the defense for Dallas.
I think most people locked in on Byron Jones when he came out of UConn at the NFL Combine, where he darn near jumped out of the stadium because of his vertical leap. But there's so much more to his game than that. Played cornerback and safety in college, and they can use that same ability to move him around in the NFL in order to create great matchups on defense for Dallas.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again to Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Seattle's defense here, we get a look at them, and, you know, Earl Thomas, he had a pick in week 1. He just keeps doing his thing.
How about this? Didn't report to the Seahawks until September 5th. The opener was September the 9th, and he comes up with an interception 6 minutes into the game. Players play.
He doesn't need a preseason, apparently.
Apparently not. So that's Earl Thomas just doing what he does best. And Seattle's certainly glad he decided to report.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there. Wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Now it's Lockett. Nifty move. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And now look at him go. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. 1 with the arm, 1 with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to. Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So they hit pay dirt on just 1 play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game. And maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Frank Clark in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield for the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He's going to air one out. It's caught at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them and put the pressure on them.
They get it to him running left. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And his kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination.
He's got a man complete. And he's brought down after a good game. That one goes for 36 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great.
There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Looking to throw. Prescott, just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the 1st quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway, essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I've got to figure out how to slow this guy down, because when one guy shreds your team, that's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least, but right now he's showing no signs of slowing down.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. Dances by him. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
And a sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this 1st half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Here's Austin. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Jeff Swaim, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Returnable for Lockett. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Seahawks.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Touchdown, Seahawks. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. The risk reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Zaire Jones there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Prescott now on 2nd down, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Prescott now. He hits Beasley right side, and he gets it down to the 32. They get only 4 that time, as that leads us to a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And this will be off the right upright, but he banks it in. A high degree of difficulty there, but he gets it to go. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On second down, Elliott. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Barkevious Mingo in that time on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Well, you don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one, but I don't think they're built like that.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
Yeah, you know, he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And it's hauled in by Nick Bennett. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Wilson now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Now it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And some room to maneuver. There he goes again. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing.
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. He's on pace now for 12 rushing touchdowns, and I think he's making fantasy owners smile.
I think you've got to change something on defense, don't you? I mean, we often talk about using a spy on a quarterback who has the ability to run and maneuver outside of the pocket. Maybe they need to change that to spying him, because this many touchdowns this early, that is demoralizing for a defense. One guy breaking them down.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive, and it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Well, not content with a first quarter lead, I guess. They're going to go onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. And out now come the Cowboys. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bad.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Forced out to his left. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. The give is to Elliott. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Bringing him to the ground defensively, Tedrick Thompson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. And let's check on the call.
Holding. Offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now Elliott. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one down the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Prescott. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Well, they are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when a screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out is Brett Hundley and the rest of the offense as they'll take over here. Yeah, they have had success on the ground, really as a team, doing well carrying the football. So maybe a little less pressure on his shoulders as the quarterback.
Any pressure he's carrying right now, that's self-inflicted, right? He's taking it on. He doesn't need to. Continue to do what you just said. Let everyone else carry the football. That's been effective. Don't have to worry about him throwing the ball in all the situations now. That's got to be a good feeling if he just relaxes and lets it keep coming to him.
Yeah, and relax and enjoy the 2nd quarter lead right now.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with him, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
Janikowski on for the extra point.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Elliott. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. They go play action here on first down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's Prescott, and he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dalton Schultz taking it in, and the Cowboys cut into
with Jason Witten had the tight end position locked down for the better part of a decade for the Cowboys. Now that he's gone, plenty of competition for his old spot. And one of the guys leading the pack, this guy right here, 4th-round pick Dalton Schultz out of Stanford.
Extra point forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out is Brett Hundley and the rest of the offense as they'll take over here. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Doesn't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
On second down, here's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Open man, it's Madden. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Wilson now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And Daniels has it, left side. And he's brought down after a good gain. A gain of 32 that time.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Throwing again here, Wilson, flush to his right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, 30 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Prescott on first down. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Prescott. And this one is incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And now it's third down. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. Room here to run. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. And now here come the Cowboys. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he's brought down. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will. And I don't quite know what's happening here. It's a first down, but the field goal team is out onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. A little brief second of indecision there was certainly hooking, but bottom line, it's good.
Yeah, and, got a little bit of English on it, right? That left-footed kicker trying to pop it through. A little bit too close to the right upright for his liking, but he'll take the three.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? A second down throw for Prescott. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now Prescott. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys are able to make things a bit more respectable. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Extra point splits the uprights, and they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And they're going to get this one all the way up to the 35-yard line. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Now Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner?
He's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sean Lee
He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Here we go.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And that is incomplete. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here, we're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
Prescott from the gun. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one is right through. And they knock that deficit down from 29-26. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Look at the spin. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Flushed out right. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. And this is complete. It's Marshall. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Final play of the half. It's Wilson escaping the press. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson as time expires in the first half. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. Big decision there. They say forget the field goal and go for it, and it pays off.
I wonder who was in the ear of the head coach on this one. Did he make this call on his own, or maybe the analytics coach got involved? And a lot of times you talk about that all week before the game. Hey, if we're in certain situations, analytics actually says do it this way, which might be against the norm. And it paid off for them in a really nice way.
Cashing in, and they're on the final play of the first half. Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski good with the extra point. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL and give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that, but for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Out to kick is Janikowski. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape of this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. This is taken at the 23. A little juke. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. Now the ball comes loose. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not only going to tip it, I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make this a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. A great return there of 22 yards. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. they've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Now Wilson on first down, eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And Janikowski bangs it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And the Cowboys are able to recover. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougal, and he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. But quite a few teams this past week in the NFL were playing with new quarterbacks, guys that have been in the league, but in a new uniform. And they had quite a bit of success. You noted some of them. Who'd you have down?
It's really incredible success when you think about it. Kirk Cousins in Minnesota, 1. Case Keenum in Denver, 1. Alex Smith with Washington, 1 at Arizona. Pat Mahomes, he started 1 game last year, but it was really a throwaway. His true debut on the road against the Chargers wins. And Tyrod, whichever way he wants it pronounced, got a tie with Cleveland. How about special category? Brian Tannehill back with the Dolphins. He wins in their home game against Tennessee. And fear the beard. Ryan Fitzpatrick, what a monster performance on the road, beating New Orleans with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And if you guys were worried, Brady and Rodgers still pretty good.
Yes.
On third down, Wilson, flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That's a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Elliott, and he'll be taken down at the 18. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So a change of possession here on the punt. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. He got 29 yards that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
You having fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So that drive, 4 plays, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And the Cowboys are able to recover. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 or 9.
They go to Elliott again, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, we got a second here to look back to Week 1. A handful of nice road wins. The biggest surprise, no doubt, CD. How about Tampa Bay winning at New Orleans?
Yeah, that was a big one because I'm not sure how many people really expected that. We looked at the schedule in preseason and thought, oh, my God, for Tampa. At New Orleans, at home for Philadelphia, home for Pittsburgh. I figured an 0-3 start. If they won one of them, it would be great. Well, they got it on Sunday, winning at New Orleans. Washington at Arizona, Cincinnati at Indianapolis, Kansas City at the Chargers. All of them had big wins in Week 1. But didn't you think Chicago was going to pull it out?
Oh, that was going to be a stunt. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jamarcus Lawrence. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. A first down carry by Elliott. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On the counter, Elliott, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a touchdown.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They'll give it to him up the middle. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. A loss of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Lockett the return. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. In for the score. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
but
one of our
she's
guys.
singing too.
Oh, she's at least.
She's on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Oh, this is a touch cruel here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. So with the yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? All right, 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through him right now, throwing the football. I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll run with Elliott. 10 more there and another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling them for a loss.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed him out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Lockett the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. To throw is Wilson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here's Wilson, flushed out right, throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Demarcus Lawrence in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. On 2nd down, here's Wilson, escaping the pressure right. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
And Janikowski bangs it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Hey, here we go.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 42 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Prescott now on second down. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jeff Swaim from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys claw one back.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game,
Illegal forward
how
pass,
they've managed to keep
offense.
control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's second and long. Now it's Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Gotta go. Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
On first down, Wilson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Eluding the pressure right. Flush to his right. He's to the 10, and he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on first down from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Janikowski bangs it through, and they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Ooh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And the Cowboys are able to recover. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's 3rd down.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Wilson on 1st down. Flushed out. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Demarcus Lawrence in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Throwing is Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You've got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Let's go get it right here. Come on, tempo, tempo.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Oh, fighting off the defender. Now he's forced out right. Oh, another great move. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. And I don't quite know what's happening here. It's a 1st down, but the field goal team is out onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Janikowski bangs it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get together on the sideline and talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
A first down throw for Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On second down, Prescott again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point up and through as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They juked him. A nice little juke. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. 23 yards on the play. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Good night, everybody.